What's going on? My name's Dan Corrigan with Keen Ramps, and today I'm going to be teaching you a trick that seems to be a scary trick. I think it's an intimidating one to try to learn, and that's the Bluntslides. I think the reason that it's so scary is because you think you're ollieing over to the other side of the rail, but all your body weight's on this side of the rail, and the slip out slam on the rail factor is very high. Fun fact, it's not. Bluntslides are super safe. In fact, after I learned backside board slides and frontside board slides, my next trick was not 50-50 or Smith or Crook. It was front blunt. I had my rail set into the grass, and I was just ollieing over and tapping front blunt to fakies into the grass, and then I slowly did it on the concrete, like just inching my rail closer and closer to the concrete. But today we're doing backside Bluntslides. It is somewhat of an awkward trick, I think, to approach for the first time, but once you start getting into it, you're gonna be like, oh, this trick is insanely easy. So let's go over to the rail and now talk a little bit about how this trick really works. I think one of the biggest mistakes that people make is they think, oh, I'm gonna ollie over to a tail slide. If you ollie over to a tail slide, the likelihood of this happening is way higher. Now, this happening is not that dangerous. You don't really see anyone try to do a Bluntslides and then they like slip out like Scooby-Doo, like and then flip all weird. That never happens. What does happen is they'll slide, they'll slip out and fall all gross, and then they're like, oh, I gotta redo it, that was terrible. Here's what you're really aiming for. This, your base plate. You want your base plate to be grinding on the rail. You want it to be as vertical as possible. Now, I'm not saying you're gonna be like this. You're probably gonna be somewhere around here, enough for you to be able to keep your momentum on this side of the rail to hold it up and to just kind of push yourself going this way. It's really not that bad of a trick. A good way to practice it is to stand on this side of the rail, set the board there, and give yourself a little push, just to feel what that slide's gonna be like. When I first learned this trick, this is how I did it. I would go super slow, and I would go and just stall it. And that is like the best thing I can tell you to do. Make sure you can ollie over it comfortably. You want to rail low enough that when you go to ollie over it, you're not like really giving it your all. So if you have to find like an extra low flat bar, for example, the Keen Ramps rail right here, this is our new design flat bar. The lowest setting, as you can see, it gets pretty ridiculously low. It's a little bit taller than a curb. It has 3 notches, so it actually goes up to a pretty tall rail. But for learning stuff like this, oh yeah, excellent. Another good thing about this trick that kind of is different than most other tricks is you can learn it at any point in time on the rail. You don't have to tap the end of the rail. In fact, I recommend learning it in the middle of the rail because that's gonna make you wanna put your body weight on the correct side of the rail. If you're just tapping the end of the rail, the board can like flip over. It's just not the best place to learn it. So go slow, stall your blunt stall like you're ollieing over, like you're gonna do a transfer. Like, cause you could even go straight on and just do a little baby like, that actually slid.
That slid really well, actually.
Slide, yeah. But that actually slid. So focus on your base plate, keep your body weight on the side that you came from, and try to stand it up. Stall it in the middle of the rail. And then other than that, honestly, this is just like a super easy trick to do. I'm gonna do a Bluntslides. You can get a feel for how I go about it.
Wow.
Little crafty on the way out, but
that was solid.
I did it though. Notice that my body weight was very much on this side. That way, when I go to come out, I don't just fall out.
You didn't, yeah, that was a pop out.
Yeah, you can give it a little spring. You can also, once you get comfortable with this trick, you can do like Bluntslides and pop out early to the side you came from in the middle, but that's neither here nor there. That's just a more difficult trick. Bluntslides to forward, which means you're gonna do a Bluntslides and come out to regular, is probably gonna be the one that you learn first. But if you're having a lot of trouble sliding it, like let's say you're getting into it and you're just sticking, try to go to fakie. Because the motion of going to fakie, kind of over rotating your turn, is gonna make it slide way easier. So I'll try a Bluntslides to fakie real quick. It's just way easier to make it go. Now, that's backside Bluntslides. One of the things you do need to think about backside Bluntslides, actually, now that I think about it, is your angle. Don't be super parallel. The issue with being too parallel is you can kind of hit on the way over. As you can tell, I'm kind of going like, at not a very sharp, but like a somewhat diagonal, a similar angle that I'd probably use for backside lip slide or backside feeble, perhaps. But yeah, you don't want to go too crazy from the side. If you go too far, you're gonna like just ollie over the rail. And yeah, make sure the rail's buttered up, go super slow, do a couple little inches, and then go from there. In all honesty, this is definitely a trick that I think people think are impressive. My friend Marissa Del Santos, she told me, yeah, my dad's probably gonna ask you if you can blunt slide because he thinks that if you can blunt slide, it means you're good at skating.
What?
Which is like, because people think that it's a difficult trick, but it's not. It just looks like it's a harder trick or a more advanced trick. But in reality, I would rather do a blunt slide on a rail than a tail slide on a rail because your momentum is way more forgiving going to the other side. So after filming that tutorial, all of a sudden he's trying backside blunt slides. Let's see how this goes. Let's see if it works for you. He's never backside blunt slid a rail. Oh yeah, that's the way to do it. You got it. Make that bad boy slide. I am the greatest trick tip tutorial teacher in the entire universe. He's literally never even ollied before. Yeah, that slid.
Is that a blunt slide?
Yeah.
Alright.
How'd that feel?
It felt like a trick. On the rail.
I know that means nothing to you if you're just watching from the Keen Ramps channel, but on my video, he learned how to blunt slide like a curb, and he said it didn't feel like a trick. Yeah!
It's like just...
They feel cool, huh?
Yeah, sure.
My guy. Yeah, blunt slide skater. See that? That's
Oh,
all
yeah.
it took, was just me
One
being the
tutorial
best.
video.
Yeah, you probably can learn faster if you film a tutorial video than if you actually watch it. So come film and do these tutorial videos, and you'll learn really fast. I wasn't talking to you.
Okay.
I was talking to them. I just want people to start flying out here and just film these tutorial videos. Woo! He said once you're locked in, you can just throw it. And that's what's good about this trick. Once you're in the blunt, it's super safe. Yeah, this is also after skating all day. 2 skate parks, some street benches.
Yeah. The California heat.
It's like 65 degrees right now. and he's from Australia. What? Right here, you got it. Yeah. So yeah, that's pretty much everything you need to know about blunt slides.